In this video, we will be downloading a Windows XP Media Center Edition ISO from archive.org and seeing if it can run on VirtualBox in 2025. This is the latest release, Media Center Edition 2005. For those who don't know, Windows XP Media Center Edition is a special version of Windows XP that includes all the base features of the original OS, while introducing a new visual style, Royale, which goes under the theme Energy Blue, to help fit the style of the program the OS is built around, Windows Media Center. Luna can still be selected as a style, however. Now, create a new VM. Set the base memory to 512 megabytes. This amount is the bare minimum needed for the OS to run smoothly. However, setting it to 1024 megabytes will give the best results for Windows Media Center. Allocate one CPU for the VM, as Windows XP Media Center Edition was introduced in a time when multi-core processors were still relatively uncommon in home computer setups. Create a 20 GB virtual hard disk, and click Finish. Make sure to check Pre-allocate full size. You've already seen most of this happen in Windows XP Professional, so we'll skip some parts of the video, starting right now. You saw this part already in Windows XP Professional, so we'll speed up the process until we reach the part where the screen reads, Installing Windows Media Center. And here we are at the desktop, which, as you can see, has a new visual style, Energy Blue, and a newly remastered version of Bliss, Energy Bliss. In this version, the clouds have been altered heavily, the sky has been retouched, and the bottom of the hill has been cropped out. This theme really fits the style of Windows Media Center. Windows Media Center in Windows XP Media Center Edition 2005, MCE2005, was a full-screen, remote-controlled interface that transformed a PC into a home entertainment hub. It was Microsoft's attempt to bring digital media, TV, music, photos, and videos into the living room long before streaming services like Netflix became dominant. Clapperboard core features of Windows Media Center, MCE 2005. Live TV and DVR, watch, pause, and record live television using a TV tuner card. It offered a TiVo-like experience with scheduled recordings and an electronic program guide. DVD playback, play DVDs directly within the Media Center interface. Music library, organize and play music with album art, playlists, and visualizations. Photo viewer, browse, view, and create slideshows of digital photos. Video playback, watch home videos or downloaded content. Remote control interface, designed for use with a remote control and optimized for a 10-foot UI, a large, simple interface readable from across the room. Couch and lamp Media Center as a living room appliance. Media Center PCs, specially designed computers with quiet operation, TV outputs, and remote controls. Extenders, devices like the Xbox 360 could act as Media Center extenders, streaming content from the PC to other rooms. No streaming. Unlike Netflix, Media Center didn't stream content from the internet, it relied on local files, TV signals, and DVDs. Windows XP Media Center Edition contains the same sample music as Windows XP Professional, Beethoven Symphony No. 9 and Highway Blues. We'll look at them later in Windows Media Player, however, which is still available in Media Center Edition. Windows XP Media Center Edition contains the same sample pictures that are in Windows XP Professional, along with 5 new ones, creating a grand total of 9. The new ones are at the Arch, Big Wave, Fish, Freestyle, and overlooking Rio. Unfortunately, Windows XP Media Center Edition does not have any sample videos. Also, playing videos in Media Center requires hardware acceleration, and if you're doing this in a VM, VirtualBox's graphics stack cannot natively support it. We'll look at MSN, which won't have any functionality, as this version of the website has been unsupported for many years. Here's Windows Media Player. This is still Media Player 11, which is what was also in Windows XP Professional. The Files and Settings Transfer Wizard in Windows XP was a built-in tool designed to help users migrate personal files and system settings from one computer to another, especially during upgrades or clean installations. Here's a deeper look at how it worked and what it offered. Purpose and use cases. Migration tool. It was primarily used when upgrading to a new PC or reinstalling Windows XP. Preserved user experience. Helped retain desktop settings, browser preferences, email configurations, and documents. What it transferred. User files, documents, pictures, music, and other personal files. System settings, desktop themes, display settings, Internet Explorer configurations, and Outlook Express data. Application settings, preferences for installed programs, though not the programs themselves. How it worked. Initiation, you could launch it via Start All Programs Accessories System Tools Files and Settings Transfer Wizard, or by running migwiz.exe from the command line. Transfer methods. Direct cable connection, serial or USB. Network transfer. Removable media, floppy disks, CDs, external drives. Two-part process. On the old computer, package files and settings. On the new computer, import the package to restore the environment. Compatibility. Worked with older Windows versions like Windows 95, 98, ME, NT 4.0, and 2000. Allowed migration from these systems to Windows XP. Legacy and successor. Replaced by Windows Easy Transfer in later versions like Vista and Windows 7. No longer supported, modern Windows versions don't include this tool, and its functionality has been absorbed into other migration utilities or cloud-based sync solutions. Set Program Access and Defaults in Windows XP was a control panel feature that allowed users to specify default programs for key activities like web browsing, email, and media playback, and optionally hide access to competing programs. Here's a detailed breakdown of what it did and why it mattered. Purpose and context. Introduced in Windows XP as part of the U.S. Department of Justice antitrust settlement with Microsoft. Aimed to give users and OEMs more control over which software handle core functions, especially in competition with Microsoft's own apps like Internet Explorer and Windows Media Player. What it controlled. Users could set defaults for web browser, email client, media player, instant messaging program, Java virtual machine, if installed. Each category allowed users to choose a preferred program, e.g., set Firefox instead of Internet Explorer. Enable or disable access to other installed programs in that category, e.g., hide IE from the Start menu. How to access it. Found under Control Panel. Add or remove programs. Set program access and defaults. Offered 3 configuration profiles. Microsoft Windows, use only Microsoft programs. Non-Microsoft, use third-party alternatives if available. Custom, manually select defaults and visibility for each category. System-level impact. Applies system-wide, not just per user. Did not uninstall programs, it only changed access and visibility. Useful for IT admins, OEMs, and privacy-conscious users wanting to declutter or enforce software policies. Legacy and evolution. Later versions of Windows, Vista onward, moved this functionality into the Default Programs panel. Windows 10 and 11 now handle defaults through Settings Apps Default Apps, with more granular file type associations. Windows Catalog in Windows XP referred to the Windows Update Catalog, a web-based repository where users could manually download updates, drivers, and patches for Windows operating systems, including XP. Launched alongside Windows XP, the Windows Update Catalog was a corporate-focused tool that allowed IT administrators and advanced users to manually download updates for offline installation. It was distinct from the automatic Windows Update service, which installed updates directly via the OS. This version of the site is no longer supported. The catalog evolved into the Microsoft Update Catalog, which still exists today and supports newer Windows versions. XP updates are no longer officially maintained, but legacy archives and community bundles remain available for preservation and retro use. All of the items in the accessories menu are the same as in Windows XP Professional. If you want to see them in detail, watch the Nostalgia Tour video. We will still look at the games, though. Windows XP Media Center Edition contains all the same games as Windows XP Professional. The games Internet Backgammon, Internet Checkers, Internet Hearts, Internet Reversey, and Internet Spades cannot be played, as the servers for these games were shut down in 2019. We'll start with Pinball. just too good, we'll play it one more time. That second time I played, I think I scored the highest I ever have in this game without using cheats. Let's play solitaire next. Let's look at Hearts now. Again, there is also an online version, but the servers for that have been shut down, so we can only play the offline version, which pits the player against 3 Spus, Pauline, Michelle, and Ben. These names aren't generic, they were taken from real people, most likely Microsoft employees or their family members. Pauline is believed to be named after the child of a Microsoft employee. Raymond Chen, a longtime Microsoft engineer, hinted that one of the names was inspired by a well-behaved child who spent time around the team during long development hours. Michelle is likely named after Michelle Upton, a Microsoft team member involved in Windows development. Ben is possibly named after Ben Slivka, a prominent Microsoft engineer who worked on Internet Explorer and other Windows components. Now, we'll look at Windows Digital Media Enhancements. These are special features designed to complement Windows Media Center that are exclusive to this OS. We'll start with Windows Audio Converter. Windows Audio Converter in Windows XP Media Center Edition was built into allow users to convert audio files, primarily WMA to MP3 or vice versa, for compatibility with portable devices and MD libraries. It was integrated into the Media Center interface and designed for easy use. Purpose and functionality. Format conversion allows users to convert audio files between formats like WMA, Windows Media Audio, and MP3, which are the most common formats supported by portable music players at the time. Media Center integration, accessible through the Media Center interface, making it convenient for users managing music libraries or syncing with devices. Device compatibility ensures that music files will be played on non-Microsoft devices that didn't support WMA. How it worked. User interface, simple wizard-style interface that guides users through selecting files, choosing output format, and send quality preferences. Conversion engine, let you use Windows media encoder or retro filters to handle the actual conversion process. Output options, users could choose their rate and destination folder, and the tools are embedded like artist and album info. Media Center context. Windows XP Media Center Edition was designed for home entertainment PCs with features like DVR, DVD playback, and music/photo management. The audio converter complemented this by helping users prepare music for playback on external devices or optimized storage. Legacy and evolution. Later versions of Windows Vista 7 shipped for Windows Media Player Sync and Media Foundation, phasing out standalone converters. Today, audio conversion is typically handled by third-party apps or built-in media players like DLC or iTunes. Next, we'll look at Windows CD Label Maker, which, due to its nature of use, requires the user to add a printer before it can launch. Windows CD Label Maker in Windows XP Media Center Edition was a built-in utility that allowed users to design and print labels for CDs they burned using Media Center. It was part of the enhanced media experience offered by the OS. Printer purpose and functionality. Integrated with Media Center, designed to complement the CD/DVD burning features of Windows XP Media Center Edition. Label creation allowed users to create custom labels for audio CDs, data discs, or video compilations. Metadata use pulled track names, album info, and artist data from the burned disk or media library to auto-populate label content. Artist palette features. Templates included basic templates for jewel case inserts and disc stickers. Customization, users could add titles, track listings, and even images or backgrounds. Print options supported printing to standard label sheets compatible with popular brands like Avery. Television Media Center context. Windows XP Media Center Edition was built for home entertainment PCs, offering DVR, music, photo, and video management. The CD label maker was part of the broader effort to make media creation and organization seamless and visually polished. DNA legacy and successors. Later versions of Windows phased out this feature in favor of third-party tools. Popular successors included Surithing CD Labeler, Nero Cover Designer, and LightScribe for direct disk printing. Next, we'll look at Windows Dancer. Windows Dancer was a whimsical animated character feature included in Windows XP Media Center Edition 2005 and Microsoft Plus Digital Media Edition, designed to dance on your desktop in sync with music playing on your PC. Woman dancing. What Windows Dancer did. Animated desktop companion displayed a 3D character that danced to music played through Windows Media Player. Music sync movement. The dancer responded to rhythm and tempo, creating a visual entertainment layer while listening to music. Customizable characters. Users could download additional dancers, each with unique styles and personalities, via the Windows Dancer character downloader. Performing arts. Available dancers. The default dancer was Amanda, often remembered as the lonely dancer if no others were installed. A full set included 26 dancers, ranging from disco-themed avatars to stylized pop performers. These characters were available through a downloadable zip archive or via the now-defunct Microsoft Plus download wizard. Desktop computer integration and requirements. Required Windows XP Media Center Edition 2005 or Microsoft Plus Digital Media Edition. Worked in tandem with Windows Media Player, using its playback engine to trigger animations. Could be launched from the Media Center interface or as a standalone desktop widget. DNA legacy and nostalgia. Windows Dancer was part of Microsoft's early 2000s push to make computing more fun and personalized. It's now preserved by enthusiasts through archival zips and emulation setups. The feature was discontinued in later Windows versions, but it remains a nostalgic gem for XP era users. Now let's look at the fourth and final option, Windows Party Mode. Windows Party Mode in Windows XP Media Center Edition was a special media playback mode designed for social gatherings, offering a simplified, full-screen interface that automatically played music and prevented guests from altering system settings or exiting the experience. Party Popper. Key features of Party Mode. Full-screen music playback, displayed album art, track info, and visualizations in a sleek, immersive layout ideal for parties or ambient entertainment. Guest-friendly controls, limited user interaction to basic playback functions, play, pause, skip, while locking down access to other parts of the system. Automatic playlist handling, could shuffle through a predefined playlist or entire music library, ensuring continuous playback without manual intervention. System lockdown, prevented guests from minimizing Media Center, accessing the desktop, or changing settings, ideal for keeping the party focused and secure. Desktop computer. How it worked. Activated from within the Media Center interface, typically under the Music section. Required Windows XP Media Center Edition 2005 or later. Often used in conjunction with remote controls, allowing users to manage playback from across the room. DNA legacy and evolution. Party Mode was part of Microsoft's broader effort to make Media Center a living room hub, blending entertainment with simplicity. Later versions of Windows Media Center, Vista, 7, retained similar features, though Party Mode itself was eventually deprecated. Today, similar functionality is found in apps like Spotify's Connect, Apple Music's Full Screen Mode, or Cody's Party Skins. Outlook Express can run, but since it uses internet, its functionality is limited to offline features only. If you want to see an in-depth look at it, watch the Nostalgia Tour video. We'll look at my documents next. My music contains the sample music folder, whose contents you've already seen demonstrated several times throughout this video. Again, Windows XP Media Center Edition contains all the sample photos from Windows XP Professional, while adding 5 new ones. Now, let's look at Control Panel, but to speed things up, we'll only look at appearance and themes. For a more detailed look, watch the Nostalgia Tour. By default, the theme chosen is Energy Blue, unlike in Windows XP Professional, which was Windows XP. Energy Blue uses a unique visual style, Royale, which none of the other themes have. All the others use pre-packaged visual styles. Windows XP can still be selected as a theme. In addition to Windows XP and Windows Classic, Windows XP Media Center Edition contains 4 new themes that had been previously available for release in Microsoft Plus for Windows XP: Aquarium, DaVinci, Nature, and Space. These themes have their own sound effects, with the exception of Energy Blue, desktop backgrounds, icons, except for Energy Blue, cursors, visual styles, and screensavers, except for Energy Blue, which still sets the screensaver as Windows XP. I'm going to leave my theme as Energy Blue. In terms of desktop backgrounds, All the desktop backgrounds in Windows XP Media Center Edition return, with the addition of several new ones, including the default desktop background, Energy Bliss, which is appropriately named for the Energy Blue theme, though Bliss can still be selected as a background. In addition to Energy Bliss, for other desktop backgrounds are also selected automatically with the 4 new themes with the same names: Aquarium, DaVinci, Nature, and Space. All the screensavers from Windows XP Professional return in this version, along with 5 new ones that were designed to showcase the enhanced visual capabilities of Windows Media Center. These screensavers are Aquarium, DaVinci, Nature, Space, and My Pictures Premium, which is an upgraded version of My Pictures slideshow that uses 3D transitions to display the photos. With the exception of My Pictures Premium, each of these screensavers will automatically be set whenever the corresponding theme of the same name is applied. Unfortunately, none of these new screensavers are able to run if you're using VirtualBox because they use DirectX 9 to showcase their enhanced graphical capabilities, which simulate full visual scenes, requiring hardware acceleration to work properly. VirtualBox's graphics stack cannot handle this. Only the returning screensavers work. What's weird about Aquarium, however, is that it doesn't even display an error message. It just throws a black screen. Not sure why it does this. I'm going to set my screensaver as Starfield. The last control panel item we'll view is folder options, after which we will end the tour. And now, we've come to the end of our tour. I'll be releasing a video soon of all 4 of the themes and their startup/shutdown sounds, and after that I'll do a community post saying what I like and dislike about all the MCE exclusive desktop backgrounds. Interestingly, my account doesn't have a password. Let's just shut it down and end the video. In short, this is a great OS, though it could have benefited more if it had sample videos like Windows Vista did. But Windows Media Center was amazing, and many people enjoyed using it in the time it was around. See all of you in the themes video. Thanks for watching.